called Apple and NVIDIA with the team. On the way here, on my phone, I trusted the chat. I'm here enjoying this beauty. What's going on, everybody? This is George with Stock Hours. Welcome back. On today's episode, we'll be going over how I manage trading and traveling. I travel quite a bit. This year alone, I've had about 13 different trips, not including the quick getaways that I take to my hometown in Mexico. But this particular trip I was 2 weeks in Europe. I went to London, Iceland, and Amsterdam. It was an incredible trip, probably the best trip I've taken ever in my life. But with that being said, I will go over what do I take with me when I travel? How do I prepare? What is my mindset behind when I'm home and when I'm on the road? You know what I mean? Or some other part of the world. How do I sit there and enjoy the moment still while still trading and taking trades almost every single day? All right, so we're gonna start off with what I take. Take my laptop here. Been having this for 3-4 years. Don't even know. Works perfectly. I keep up with it. I take care of it. So definitely take that, of course. My iPad as well. I've had this iPad for a couple years. It has its own internet, so I don't have to sit there and connect it to no Wi-Fi or anything. So when the Wi-Fi is bad at hotels or Airbnbs, I just use that. And then I have my phone. If the Wi-Fi is bad, I'll use my hotspot from my second phone. If the hotspot's running out, I got my primary phone, the one I'm recording on. I do have, if the Wi-Fi is great, I'm in a hotel, got plenty of room, and I feel like, okay, you know what? Everybody's asleep still. Go ahead and zone in more and take it like if you're home. I got these trifold screens. Just adapts, plug it into attach it to the laptop. I've had these for several years already, and they work great. Haven't had no issues with it. I love them. I take my trade idea book. This is where I write down all my trade ideas for the day. What I'm looking at. I got ugly handwriting. What I'm looking at. What's my target? Everything that I like. Everything I don't like. Well, if I don't like it, I don't write it. But my targets, my stop losses, I write it there. And then this book, this is a new book, but I love taking this with me. This is where I write down the calendar per the day and everything, what I made for the day, how many trades that I take, and then I'll sit there over here, write down how I felt for that trade. How long was I in the trade? Was it a green trade, red trade, flat trade? Was I green, but I executed poorly? Everything that I can think of, I write that down in there. I just like having it in person. I just feel it more. So I like to write down my things instead of putting it on Excel. Now, what's my mindset going into this? What do I do different when I'm at home and when I'm training on the road, right? I was doing some things where I still enjoyed the moment, right? Iceland, I had been in my bucket list for a long time. I was gonna enjoy every moment of it. If I wasn't gonna trade, that was gonna be fine with me, right? Like I said, I travel a lot, so I do try to make it where I do take trades here and there, because you know what's the point of me having this freedom and doing this for a living if I'm not gonna actually work while I'm on vacation, right? Especially being that I only have to work for like an hour, right? Mindset behind this is I'm only scalping. I know that I don't have my full setup. I don't have all my screens. I'm not looking at everything how things are moving, right? Scout, I tell these to the people that are new also, like, hey, just take the scalp until you have more information, you get better at getting more screen time. Just take the scalp. Once it breaks at 5-10%, anything above 5% is a great trade. People don't understand that. Everybody wants a home run, 50, 60%, 30%, 100%. It's good to have those, right? But if you don't have everything, you're still learning, just take the quick scalp, right? And a strict 10% loss. My stop loss is not based on percentage when I'm home, but when I'm on the road, I'm traveling, it's based on percentage. 10%, no questions asked, and only one loss, right? And that's it, right? That's the main difference between when I'm traveling and when I'm home. I don't have all my information. It's just easier for me. Less stress. I'm okay with making 5 to 10%, and just basing it and understanding and listening to Norm, Maki, and the interns, their ideas, and feeding off of that. So I'm not gonna talk about every single trade that I took, but I will talk about a few of them, and specifically those because the way I traded them. So I'll talk a little bit about my thought process behind it, and what was unique about it, right? So to start it off here, we have Nor sent out his trade idea for the day, which was on December 4th. He had 460. He was watching Nvidia 460. If that broke with volume, had room all the way to 458.80. Now, it's a decent move. It's not crazy. So in this trade here, I'll show my fills here, and it was pretty smooth. It broke right through and just sold. On December 5th, which was definitely my favorite day, Nor had he was watching again Nvidia, right? He was watching Nvidia. 450. If that broke with volume, had room to 447.50, then 445. It actually ended up taking a quick bounce. Apple, he had it as a side. He mentioned it during his pre-market review in the morning. He was like, "Hey, I like Apple." I ended up taking Apple with decent size, not decent size, but enough. Again, I am on my phone still. This was on December 5th. I was on my phone on my way to Diamond Beach in Iceland, and I again trusted the chat. I trusted his level, his targets. I was selling. I did end up scaling out as I went. I just scaled out once, right? So I sold a half, and then I sold the other half, and then I ended up taking Nvidia. So he ended up calling out Nvidia, but I ended up taking it with way lighter size, just to say, hey, I'm still on my way. There's no way I go red on the day anyways. It's gonna be half the size of what I had earlier, and at the moment I see that's not going my way, I'm just gonna sell. I only made $56 on Nvidia that second trade, which is fine, but it's still $56, right? And then on December 6th, Norm sent out a trade idea again on the in the morning. He was looking at BA 235. If that broke with volume, this had room all the way to just had room to rally. It had a flat top. I love when BA has those consolidations, those flat tops like that. BA, you don't really trade often, or it's an everyday stock. The right setup has to be there, and it was there. I ended up taking again a quick scout. On this day, I ended up seeing the Northern Lights. So again, another very memorable day for me. I didn't get to see them go crazy, but I did get to see at least a couple baby Northern Lights. So that's another reason why I'm talking about it, just because of the day. It's stuck in my head. One of the best days that I've had. Really, these all 3 days. The next one that I want to talk about, I was actually I took 2 trades that day on December 8th. AMD, we took that to the upside. I ended up taking a loss on that. It was This was a Friday. I ended up taking a loss on that. 750. Stay calm, cool, and collective. I'll show here the text messages that I got from the chat. And then I ended up taking BA. I ended up being down negative $25 for the day, which is fine. I'm okay with it. It's Friday. Those contracts were moving like crazy. So regardless, the reason why I want to talk about this is I trusted the chat. I trusted the numbers that they gave me. And just being thankful. Like I'm thankful like that I could trust them with them. And like just because you start off with a red trade, I'm not gonna sit there and lose the trust I have in them. I know that for the most part, those levels are correct because I know them. I know how what they like and then what kind of setups they like that I like as well, right? So me knowing that is I'm probably gonna take it, right? So I ended up taking BA right after that. Thanks to Frankie. So shout out to him. That day made me go from negative 750 or something like that. And then I ended up making almost the same amount. I was red for the day, $25. So what I really like about that trade is that I managed to not let something big like that, like a big net being down $700 is quite a bit, right? But don't let that affect my next trade. Go ahead and just take the next trade. If it's there, take it. If not, I would have been down for 700 for that day, and that would have been it for that day. And then last but not least, I took a trade on the flight. Frankie again sent a level that he was watching on BA. It didn't end up working out, or it didn't go early on in the day. I thought I wasn't gonna trade that day. That's when I was coming back to Houston, and I ended up catching it. I'll show you a couple. A picture here of the of the aisle, and then me telling the group chat, that I caught it on the flight. So I thought that was pretty cool. I went in with light size, and then I actually like just took my time on it, like I said, light size, and like it worked out. It was like a 35% trade, which was pretty good actually. But being a light size, I ended up holding it just because I had my iPad, and I was on my iPad and on my phone, so I was able to watch more than just my phone on that. But in that's all I want to show you. I don't want to bore you with all the trades that I took. Hopefully you enjoy this video.